What? TWA is fighting a bet, I guess. Okay. That's okay, because I need time to set up stuff. So, we're actually good yet. Hopefully. Let me post this in here. And we'll be up. I think we're actually waiting for a caster, which is fine. All right, I need to go grab stuff in. Be right back. Dang it. I was gone for 5 seconds and we're not starting yet. Anyways, if I actually look at the rankings here, I think they're somewhere. Schedule maybe? Yeah, here they are. Whitewolf is 0-2 and Ben is 0-2. So this is the 0-2 versus 0-2 match. We have 5 teams. Believe they both got 2-0'd. And I think I casted the Whitewolf match. I casted one of them in the first week. And pretty much a blowout both games, both 20 minutes. Hopefully we get some closer games here. Again, these aren't drafted teams. These are completely pre-made teams. So anybody joining this league has to have a team already, meaning they aren't exactly balanced. And it is a full LAN tournament. Tournament is happening in February, which is a little over a month away now, I believe. February 28th. There is a 19,000 team MMR cap. So, I mean, that kind of works. It's $100 per team. So, yeah, and that's mostly paid to help out. Actually host the event. It's at some convention center, and hopefully that goes well. There's a decent amount of things you need to have set up correctly to pull that off. So, little over a month from now, I believe it is February 28th or something like that. Yeah, February 29th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. There's 5 teams. Full LAN tournament in Peoria, Illinois. Go to it if you're in the area. Gonna have like full casting and stuff like that there. Should be fun. Get some actual like amateur Dota leagues out there, or more of them. Anyways, seems like there's not a lot in North America in terms of like middle skill Dota tournaments. It's mostly just draft tournaments, which are okay, but not as great, I think. Used to have a couple Sunday leagues where you could sign up with pre-mades too, and that was fun. But yeah, you just don't get that much nowadays. Anyways, on to this game. We're seeing a lot of bands that are pretty popular in the ongoing major, which I believe is starting in a couple of hours. Might be a bit before that actually kicks off. I believe it is Secret Vici is the first match of the day. And we also got a tiny band too. I should probably be writing these things down like I usually do. But yeah. 1 second. Whitewolf and Ben is the other team. And so, yeah, I actually casted Whitewolf versus Pretty, which I forget who's on Pretty's team, but they're 2-0 right now. Doing pretty well. Whitewolf gonna pick up a Lich for his support, and Ben going with a Veno too. Pretty conventional picks. Veno obviously very annoying, decent in lane. And especially when paired with that hero right there too, that's going to be an annoying lane to deal with. Not a big fan of playing against Veno. It's definitely very annoying, especially, you know, you get into the late game you're killing the wards in like 2 hits. Oh, it feels so good. And then he gets the talent that makes him have like plus 500 HP or something like that, I think. And it's all back again. It's there, and they take 5 hits to kill, and it's so annoying. It's not exactly like a good hero, I think. I think it's more of just, it'll help out your lanes a bit. Create some space for your carry in that lane, or at least your core hero in that lane. I think the Pit Lord can accomplish much of the same as a carry could. Yes! Boy! Let's go. Alright. We got a Clockwork pick. I'm happy. Whitewolf, let's see it. Who is playing Clockwork? I mean, hopefully they're just picking stuff that they're having fun playing with. Although Clockwork is a really big pro pick right now. He's actually been picked quite a bit in the major, surprisingly. I don't know if people are buying the eggs on him particularly that much. I wouldn't. I think the eggs is garbage. As the resident Clockwork player, I think that eggs is just straight up trash. But the rest of the hero is so good. Actually, I need to turn this up too. The rest of the hero is so good. The fact that you have a constant stun to fight at shrines really early on is amazing, and that's such a small strength, but it's still a good one. You can like instantly punish people for going for outposts. Runes are easier to pick up. You have a block for the lane. I don't think they should run it as a 3. I like Clockwork in the 4 position right now. You can run it as a 3, but you have to be really aggressive if you're running it in a core role. And the game has to go pretty well and before like 30-40 minutes. Otherwise, you're essentially just fighting 4v5, because Clockwork hardly does anything past 30 to 40 minutes without just dying. And if he's in that 4 role, it doesn't really matter too much, because you can still have a slight impact, and it's fine if you die. You still have your other core that can pick up the slack. Definitely Clockwork 4 is the play, so they should probably pick something to go with that. Nake's ban, something they probably could have gone for, actually, with a Clockwork pick. I could see them going for Invoker is another good combo too. Maybe a Mirana, but Mirana is kind of iffy. I like Invoker. You could go for a Slark into the Veno. Slark actually works really well with Clockwork too. The leap to get over the cogs, and there's actually the ban of it, so I'm always excited to see Clockwork picked, because Clockwork is definitely the hero that I know the most about. Like, easily the hero that I know the most about compared to every single other Dota hero. I played it way too much, and it's not even that much compared to other hero spammers, but oh boy, I'm excited. Anyways, the Slark ban is really good. Wraith King ban is just like, they don't want to play against it. It's annoying. I think you're fine to just leave the Wraith King in, especially since you have an Underlord. And then the other heroes they ban are just annoying. They still need their carry. They still need their support here. It's going to be a Venomancer and a Pit Lord in the off lane. They could go... Well, I guess they don't have the Lifestealer anymore. They banned out the Slark themselves. The PL is gone. What else has been really good this patch? Maybe the Drow. Surprisingly, the Drow is still in. The only problem with Drow is they have a Clockwork, and if you lose the lane early, it's going to be really difficult to get back. They're just going to pick their other hero in the lane. Might be a mistake, because now on the other side of things, Wolf can go for a Drow here. He very well could. The thing is, with Drow and a Clockwork, you have to get an early Force Staff or early Hurricane Pike to counter him really hard. And if Clockwork is in your same lane, he can just run at you. And that's the strat against Drow lineups. You just have to constantly run at the Drow. Do not give her space to get big. And she won't ever be an issue. And that's why Clockwork's good into it. But it's not like the game's lost. It's not like a game-winning matchup there. Doom Clockwork isn't the greatest combo. it's okay. You're gonna have issues doing some damage in the lane, especially if you get cogs incorrect. But I mean, there's still good kill potential there. Doom by himself actually has a lot of kill potential too, so I could see that being successful. Not a big fan of it though. I think they would have had more success if they went for maybe a ranged core or just something that deals with cogs a bit easier, so you can just be incredibly aggressive. Could argue for an Elder Titan, but I don't see very many people going Elder Titan offlane these days. Slark has about the same issue. Could argue for a Legion, that could be legit. There's still some combos you can get off there. Haven't seen Enigma offlane as much either. The Puck's obviously gone, so that wasn't in there. Doom's actually probably the best pick. There's hardly any good offlaners right now. I feel like I'm seeing the same 3 heroes every single game in the offlane, which is unfortunate. Kind of sucks, but whatever. And if I'm right, then we'll see something. One of the heroes I just listed, like a Slardar, or no, the Puck's gone. Slardar, Brewmaster, Sand King's still okay. Maybe a Beastmaster. Okay, they're just gonna pick up their core and go for the Spectre. Spectre, yeah, does not have the same issues that a Drow does into a Clockwork, so strong pick here. You do have the Doom to deal with, so that is something you have to be afraid of once Doom gets 6, and in fact, once Doom and Clockwork get 6, they can be really aggressive and start going after kills on the enemy mid laner. I don't think Lina can be their mid laner in this game. It would be very bad for them to put Lina mid. Doesn't matter what the matchup is, it's really bad. If the Clockwork knows what he's doing, it's as soon as Clockwork gets like level 3, he can go mid and kill. But it's gonna be a support Lina. Like no doubt in my mind, it's gonna be a support Lina. They're saving that mid pickup for last. The Viper, you think it's good, but it's not. Again, it's one of those heroes where it's more of a nuisance than it is good. They need more carry. They're just not going to have damage if this game goes late. I mean, you don't want it to go late because it is into a Spectre, but even if it gets to like 35, 40 minutes, that's really the cliff, right? Like Radiant just has a fall off at about 35, 40 minutes, and they finally banned the Drow. I'm surprised we're getting the Drow ban now. Really feel like it should have been picked up in one of those 2 picks there, so it could have just gone all the way through, but it's perhaps something they just don't want to play against at all. And I guess if Viper's going to be the mid, they could still arguably go for it, but Spectre and the Drow is pretty good. And I don't know. I feel like they would bait them into that pick, and then you just counter it with the Spectre. Other than that, though, there's really no ways to get on top of Drow. It's most likely what they're thinking, but we have to look at their mid. The Invoker ban, too. Something I thought they could have picked themselves, but not going for it. They need somebody to help lock down a Spectre and kill a Spectre. The rest of these heroes you don't really have to worry about. The Pit Lord especially, sure, he's tanky, but you can just ignore him till the very end of the fight. You have a Doom to throw on a Spectre. You just want your mid to shore up some of the damage. Potentially go an Ember Spirit into Lina. That can be kind of difficult, but I think Ember Spirit's good here. Could argue that a Storm is very good as well. In a Pit Lord, it can be kind of difficult to play, but it allows them to play very aggressive with their Clockwork and Storm Spirit combo, just zipping around the map pretty much at the exact same speeds. It's fun. Could argue for a Magnus mid too, but I don't think, or carry. Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting Viper's gonna be their mid laner. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. I'm not a big fan of this. I wish they had gone more things that combo well. But this means Clockwork just has a lot of carrying to do in the early game. If they just want to outright win this game. Obviously, this game's still winnable at this point. The Razor's not too great into the Spectre. But into some other things, it's okay. They have a lot of lockdown for him. It's a pick. It makes your game easy, I guess, because all you have to do is just press buttons. You know, get your skills off as Razor, and then right-click people, pop your BKB, and then right-click people. You don't really have to think about anything. That's pretty much the hero. And same thing with Viper. You don't really have to think. They have two brainless heroes, pretty much. Which maybe makes their draft a bit better, because the easier a draft is to pull off, in these types of leagues, it's always better. We also get the Shadow Fiend, too. Again, you had the right idea with the Spectre, but Shadow Fiend dies to a Clockwork very easily. The only thing is they don't have any global presence because they don't have the Storm. And Razor, Viper, Doom doesn't really keep up with the Clockwork, but if Clockwork gets enough farm and it's early on, Clockwork can just kill SF time and time and time again. And again, even early, with a couple of slows from a Viper, Shadow Fiend's a bit out of position, he's dead. It's easy kills. Not a big fan of this pickup. I think, again, they could have gone for something like an Ember Spirit. Storm's pretty bad. The only issue with the Ember is, of course, you have to deal with the Doom. But if you're getting doomed as an Ember, your Spectre isn't doomed. Your Venom isn't doomed. Your Lina isn't doomed. They're going to keep throwing out spells. I think you'd still be pretty happy with that. On the other side of things, other than the Clockwork, like the first three heroes are fine. You kind of just have to go for the Doom. The last two are just generic picks, I think, that really don't have too much synergy with the rest of their lineup. But I mean, they're damage dealers. So if you just wanted generic damage dealers, that's what they went for. Other side of things, I think the Spectre counters the clock pretty well. Shadow Fiend's iffy, but he needs farm, and this is definitely a patch where mid laners can find farm relatively easy with the two close camps. I like Dyer's draft a bit better. I like Ben's team. I think they're a bit stronger. I still need to exec. I think their team is just a bit stronger here in terms of drafting. But of course, with all of these games, it does come down to skill. Is this a mid Clockwork? No. I don't think so. He bought his own Tango, so it's just Viper's going top right now for some reason. It looks like it's going to be a mid Viper. He's just rotating top. Maybe they get a jump on somebody. They could go for it. Is it going to be enough damage? Again, Doom goes for Devour first. Is this the build? I feel like I discussed this the last time that I casted a Doom game, where going Devour first is really inefficient. You don't have creep waves or actual creep camps until a minute. Sure, damn, you get a bonus 20 gold. You guarantee that you get the range creep, but there's a lot of better ways to get a range creep last hit. I think you go for Scorched Earth or Infernal Blade first and just be really aggressive and fighting around the runes. Razor's pretty good at contesting these two. It depends on how they split. Is Lich gonna go at the river one? Looks like both of the Diehers are going at the river one as well. The stun there from Lina if he wants to go for it, but no, it's too much. Just let him walk up the hill and walk away. Venno is very dead. This is the power of Clockwork, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot approach this hero. And it's as easy as that, too. You have the slow from Venomancer. It doesn't even matter. You have the slow from Viper plus the Q, and he's going to keep getting attacks off. And this is the issue with running SF into mid-Viper, too. If this lane is ever over here, and SF walks past his own high ground, Clockwork just walks up. He probably doesn't even need to hit cogs. It's Viper's just got to be in the right position, and it's another easy kill. And he's not even using it to get the range creep blasted either. Again, not sure I really agree with that too much. We'll swap over to CS though. Going on the Spectre, it's a little bit too much. It's good damage, I guess, but yeah, he might have stood his ground a little bit too long. And the slow from Veno is actually going to do a really good job at saving the Spectre too. It's going to make it hard to go on this guy. Especially, I like picking up the dagger first too. Feels like the right choice. Bottom, it's the Lina Pit Lord into a Razor Lich, which Razor's actually getting a lot of damage right now. The slow over onto the Lina, so they could potentially just go on the Lina afterwards, but Razor doesn't want to walk through. The Pit Lord could maybe keep chasing, because, I mean, Razor's still got a decent amount of damage, and that Pit Lord dropping low, the same with the Lina. But nobody really making any aggressive moves yet. It's very passive Dota up to this point. Oh, and then I ate my own words right there, because I should really just keep an eye on the mid laners, but killing off the SF. SF into Viper, it feels like Viper has the stronger hero there, or at least the matchup win. It's just an easy matchup for him, right? Bottom, they're getting a slow onto the Pit Lord. There is no stun from Lina. You already used it. He gets the slow from the Q2. Gonna keep going, but one more right click from that Lina. Razor's gone a bit too far. Whitewolf doesn't want to keep trading either. He has another Frost Blast, but he did have the creeps too. I just don't think he has the damage to keep going on Lina there. Haste Rune on Jasper. Playing a little bit aggressive here, just getting some clicks off onto AMP. But, I mean, there's no real chance for a kill quite this early yet. AMP just completely out of mana again, and this guy is definitely just harassing him out of the lane at this point. Spectre doing okay in terms of farm. The Doom is definitely winning out here. Clockwork trying to go on the Veno, but he doesn't have cogs yet, so not a realistic kill. Still level 1. I think he's just given most of the space to his Doom, going after the courier, but the block from BS Chili. A nice play there, very mechanical. He'll take the range creep denied too. BS Chili, MVP of this game early on. Making the little plays that count. I mean, the actual MVP is probably Jasper, because he got that kill in the mid lane. And he's actually just dominating this mid lane too. AMP having to pop another salve to even stay close. They also get the cogs over on the Spectre, but this is where the dagger comes in handy. Doom trying to run over, save his Clockwork, gets the deny. What a play from Next. What was even on him? I guess it was the Poison Sting. It might have been the Gale too, but that's off cooldown. So I didn't know Poison Sting was deniable, but maybe I just haven't played against too many Venos recently, surprisingly. Haven't really thought about going for that even, but a nice play. Heads up play from the Doom, and it takes away the kill from the Spectre is the big thing. And again, he just can't go for the cogs on the Spectre because it's going to get turned every single time. Lina rotating mid. Jasper doesn't see her until it's too late. A couple more raises, and that's going to be it. Just one more hit from Narathine. And that's a very dead Viper, despite all that protection, magic protection. Resistance, it doesn't matter. Just a couple, 2 raises and a Lina stun. More than enough to bring a Viper down, and I think that's actually drawn it even in the mid lane. It's still level 5 to a level 4 Shadow Fiend, but it's getting a bit better. Difference not quite as big. Clock actually trying to go for a kill onto the Veno. Once again, the rotation over from the Doom. He's not actually going for it though, actually just focusing on the Spectre. Clock did a nice job of locking them in, but he's not gonna get the kill. It's actually the Doom that's gonna get it with the Scorched Earth tick. And I'm glad he's actually maxing it too, because you see the benefit of it there. Seen some people go for the max on Devour first, which feels pretty bad. We do get 3 bounty runes going the way of Dire, but Radiant did get the first 3 to start the game, so it's a bit even now. Ult there from Viper, and this looks like a very dead Venomancer. There's no rocket yet on Clock. Again, only level 2. So nothing really. He's not even going to get this kill. They don't have enough slow. And there's no boots on either of these heroes either. Veno's just walking away. Nobody has boots in this game. They might even dive past the tier 1. This is going to be a lot of damage. Bottom, they actually get a kill onto the Razor. They were playing very aggressive there. Might even find the Courier Clockwork. Able to cogs it in, I believe. Doesn't actually click it though. He gets slowed by the Venom. Wants the kill instead. Gets the cogs. Nobody's going to get this courier. Viper sees it. One more right click. They do kill off the Venom. They get the courier as well. It's only a 1, so it's not too big of a deal, but it's the gold. That's the big thing. And Spectre actually has to rotate out of the lane as well. And this is potentially a tower take with the catapult up here. A very nice rotation from Jasper. Had an ugly start missing that Veno kill, but it's gonna turn into a tower take. So I mean, you'll take those. It's the little wins that matter, and they definitely need a couple of them here. Jasper, I think, is about drawn even mid. At this point, it feels like the laning stage about over for these mid laners. Shadow Fiend's just happy farming the jungle a bit. Level 6, doesn't really have too much yet. What is that? Okay, just one more Wraith Band. So, nothing really too much. Top, I don't think the Doom can actually die here. But let's see if I'm going to eat my words immediately, because maybe the Venom's looking for it. Is going for level 2 Gale. And I mean, it doubles the initial damage and triples the damage per tick. The Courier didn't see the Venom over there, and that's the phase boots gone. Very angry is the Doom. Wants to get payback for it, but he's not even gonna get this kill. A minor tilt there, and it's the Doom is wasted. They're potentially gonna go for a mid kill too. The Clockwork is rotated over. Where's the cogs? He uses it to push him back, and I think that's gonna make them miss the kill. No, they're fine. They still got it. Just made it a bit more difficult. I'm not sure why he went for the pushback there. Maybe thought Doom had an ability to follow up with or something wrathing, looking for the kill. He gets the slow, the Razor just barely hitting it, but the Q from the Pit Lord, he's walked a bit too far. There's no mana but to right click. Lita will take those, she says. I mean, you trade for the core. Pit Lord's able to dive here, just doing a bit more damage. Again, I don't think this kill is gonna happen. But the rotations elsewhere from the Doom Clockwork, they're taking towers with it, and the Clockwork's still level 4. No XP on this boy. Doesn't matter. Hasn't really been too aggressive either. I would have liked to seen him rotate a bit more. Because you're not really going to get kills on anybody but Veno in your lane. And this is really what you're going to find. Gets the Q off, but the Lina stun. I guess the timing must be just perfect there to be able to get that one off. Is going to keep going for it. The Q is under the tower, so I don't think they want to keep doing it. They pop the Viper ult on him. The Pit Lord's going to die. The Lina's going to die. Everyone is here. And while it's a big rotation, they lose the Lich too. Straight up tower death right there. I don't think you want to be here if you're Veno. Just let them take the tower if they really want it at this point. Your cores are getting farmed. It's a big rotation from the Radiant. And pretty expensive one too, especially if they lose Jasper here. Jasper just going a couple more right clicks out, gets rooted again. Not going to be able to run away. A couple more slows from the Veno. Wants to go for the trade. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Oh, could have gotten the Nigh again. Not quite there though. The Gale was the only tick on him. Thought he had taken a couple right clicks from the Veno, but he must not. That's a really Lich ult right there. Interesting enough, the Spectre just goes directly into the cogs. There's no Lich ult, but there's no dagger either. The rotation over from the Shadow Fiend. This is going to be a dead Spectre too, but does he get the deny? It should be an easy one. If he doesn't mess it up, yeah, I think he's got it. He's definitely got it. Yep. He might not have even needed to do it. It would have been close. But definitely worth just getting the deny there. They didn't even take the tower actually either. Just making a couple of aggressive moves. A nice rotation from the Shadow Fiend. And it'll net them the outpost too, whereas a minute ago it looked like for sure Radiant was going to get both outposts. Even in the top lane too, somebody just having to TP. The Clockwork level 5 now, still hasn't hit that 6, so we don't quite see how aggressive they can be, but might just be able to kill a Pit Lord up here. He's in the wrong neighborhood, walking up high ground. The ult from the Viper is up. If he wants to go for it, we'll pop it. Down to 125 move speed, is getting some of it back. Goes for the ult. It's not enough. Rotation over from Clockwork. Pops the Q. We'll use the rest to farm some neutral camps there. Do we even have any neutral items yet? We have one. The Royal Jelly on somebody. And they also got Royal Jelly? No, they got a Broomstick. I think it was on Shadow Fiend. I think I saw it on Shadow Fiend. This should be an easy stun for Luna, but he misses it! Looked like it was on his foot. Narathian's just a little bit of a mental error there. Put it just far enough behind. It would have been a hard kill to get anyways. Again, it's a Clockwork with a level 3 battery assault. And Spectre would have been pretty much alone next to him. So, risky enough for sure. BS Chili just defending bottom. This is only a level 1 Plague Ward. With the Pit Lord here, they should be able to defend this pretty easily. And I don't think they can take this tower. AMP rotating down. Do they want to try and find kills? I don't think so. AMP happy just taking the last hits right now. Seems a bit more. We should flop over to net worth. He's sitting on top actually. After an okay start in the mid, he's been farming up the jungle. This Lich, very dead Whitewolf. Just a little bit overextended. A nice Lich ult will come out. They might get Jasper on the edge, but no, he doesn't see the Pit Lord. The Doom going for it onto the SF, but the fear from the ult is more than enough. AMP making a nice raise play there to get the kill onto the Doom. He's trying to trade with Jasper, and this time Jasper just can't do it. Doesn't even get the return kill. 3 stacks of Venomous Gale, or not Venomous Gale. The heck is this called? Poison Attack. What an inspired name. I should probably have that one memorized. Not enough to do it though. And SF can easily trade there. A 1k gold lead. Very nice start for Radiant, even after losing all their towers, or at least 2 of their tier 1s. Incredibly early on. It's really close, and they're actually in the lead. Narathian getting gone on by the Clockwork. Again, the stun comes out, but where's the cogs? Didn't actually pop them. Still not using them even to lock in the Pit Lord. Pit Lord can't even pop the ult, but it's too late. The Doom off onto the Pit Lord, not able to get the Uber out. Clock gonna keep diving. A deny from Narathian. What a play. The dive from Clockwork 2 will use the hook, but Narathian again, you'll take it. You'll definitely take those. Sure, you lose your life, but you get the deny, and that's more of a tilting play than anything. And sometimes it's about the mental games more than the actual gold games. Still a 1k gold lead. And it's really just the farm of AMP and free farm, pretty much a Spectre, keeping them in the game. Has died the one time on that errant rotation bottom with the Doom, but it was a deny. Again, so he's Jace pretty happy. Has actually just overtaken the Doom too, and you got to look at Razor and Viper on the other side. Hardly any farm at all. Kyle Sol. Let's case Kysol because it's more fun to say, where I can actually say it. Anyways. Still doesn't have the drums working on it. There's another hook up on the Clockwork, but I don't think they actually want to keep diving into this one. There's going to be a slow from the Veno, and yeah, he just pops the cobs to keep him low ground. Feels like he could be using hook a bit more. And playing a lot more aggressive, but he is going to get a regen rune, so they could just bank off of that and go in here. It's really, they got to start looking for the SF. That's the big kill you want to find with this Clockwork. And so far, I mean, it's been the one, right? I think with the rotation, it was around here where he pushed him back with the cogs. It's been the one kill. He's actually rotating under some wards too. They're trying to go after Spectre, which I mean, sure, he's going to have Radiance soon, but this is a really hard kill to get. Could potentially hit the blind hook, but he's not going to throw it. And, I mean, even if you hit it too, you just have to assume that he still has the dagger. So, easily able to get out from that one. Still just sitting underneath the ward. They do get the D ward eventually, but the Clockwork is just caught out. Will hook over to the creeps, and I think it might just save his life here. One more raise is going to do it. No, the cogs push back. It's not enough. The ult from Veno just pushing 2 heroes back, but I still think they're going to get the kill over onto the Pit Lord. There's no chance at denying this one. The Lich will be the trade, but it's the core. In the Pit Lord that died for the support, I think you'll take those. A lot of trades happening, and, well, I mean, most of the benefactors have been dire in this game, but that one, of course, going Radiant's way. And you don't really care too much about the Lich dying, and you killed Pit Lord. Didn't get denied this time. Gotta look at that as a positive. We'll be able to take the Shrine, or the Outpost, too. Somebody could definitely TP to this. They have the Spectre ult, too, but nobody rotating over. The only person that could realistically do it is Pit Lord. I mean, honestly, anybody, because you get the Spectre ult in there with 2 heroes. I mean, Battery Assault is pretty garbage, especially when those heroes are going to be at full HP as well. Still, required coordination there. Narathi not getting slowed, and the Doom has to back off. Looking for that Q from the Razor. Plasma Field. I feel like I've never said the name of this ability. The Plasma Field from the Razor. That's a sentence I don't think I've ever said. Like, surprisingly. I honestly didn't know the name of that ability. It's weird. Clockwork getting caught out with the cogs. He's honestly trapped in them himself. And that's the struggle of playing against Pit Lord as a Clockwork. You just get rooted inside your cogs, and there's no hope of escaping, especially without a Force Staff. But the rotation over from AMP, he's getting some damage in onto the Lich, and I think the Lich is going to be the first one to die. They've gotten 2 kills, but it's make it 3. Doom is down. They've used it on the SF2. Kyle trying to run away from this one, but there is no chance. The only surviving member of Radiant is the Viper. And you'll trade your 2 supports for 4 very big kills plus a buyback from the Lich, and it's back up to a 1k gold lead. It was faltering there, but they're just not taking efficient fights. The Clockwork getting caught out, trying to find something, but not the right position for it. Doom pop there as well, meaning they can't actually follow anything up. His Spectre ult down. And getting very close to this Radiance too. He does have the Relic, just not quite bought it yet. Clockwork maybe looking for a hook onto the Pit Lord. It's still doable. It's still doable, but he does a lot of damage, so you still got to be careful. Maybe looking for a kill onto Lina instead. The pings tell a story. The hook, it's going to hit the blind hook from Purple Tuna, but Narathi's got the Force Staff already. He's prepared for this one. Clockwork not seeing it. And again, very salty too. So for those wanting to learn how to play the Clockwork, Force Staff is not as big of a counter as people think it is. It's really the Hurricane Pike is where it's at, because people will instinctively pop Force Staff very first thing. I think I'll shut up when maybe we get an SF kill here, and yeah, plus the Fear from Lich. Yeah, very easy kill. SF just completely alone. Anyways, when you hook somebody with the Force Staff, don't pop your cogs right away, especially if you have time. You need to walk and actually push them back towards your team, and then the Force Staff is nullified because they either Force Staff into the cogs or they go further into your team, and it gets really difficult from there. It's really about the zoning, and we actually just get a huge fight here. Lich solo killing a Pit Lord for the most part. There was a couple clicks there from the Razor. Razor actually dying himself. The Veno ult only onto... Okay, no, it actually did clip the Viper there. It's onto 2, but I don't think they can actually find any kills with it. Whitewolf dropping low. Could go for the TP, but I don't think he's going to get it. This hook also going to land, and there's no Force Staff on BS Chili, so we can just run that one down. Will lose the Lich, and there again, no deny. It feels like we're seeing a lot of denies this game. The only survivor, again, it's that Spectre, and this is the problem with this hero too. When your ult is on cooldown, you really do not want to show up to these fights, and they're playing aggressive when that Spectre ult is on cooldown, which is really the way you have to do it. The Force Staff away from Narathi, and he does dodge the stun, and they won't keep going for it. They're tier 2. The main objective right now, they're keeping their eyes on the prize, and that's the tier 2 tower. Purple getting the last hit on it. I do get the Radiance up too, and this Spectre ult off cooldown as well. Bottom, I just completely missed this. What the heck? Again, it feels like we could get a TP if anybody wants to go for it. There's 151 damage stolen, but you do have a Spectre ult with Radiance. I don't know. This is the right idea though. Jace is definitely... It feels like Jace knows what he's doing. just spending the time farming right now instead of being aggressive, going into fights, which is what I would do, which is why I don't play carry. That's why I play Clockwork, because that's the whole point of the hero. Razor trying to get a kill on a BS Chili, and I think he's going to get slowed a couple of times too. The Plasma Field enough to initiate that one. Viper's right click range is just ridiculous. Imagine if he had a broom handle. Or a Grove Bow, sorry. It's not the broom handle. Or is it the broom handle? Wait, which one's the broom handle again? Spectre has the broom handle? Yeah, melee only attack range. That's right. One of them was attack range. But yes, the Grove Bow. I haven't even checked neutral items in a bit either. Looks like we get the Dragon Scale is on the Razor, which is pretty good. I also got a Dragon Scale on the other side. Grove Bow coming out too. It's on the Lina right now, and that's some ridiculous attack speed. The Lich Ult not really hitting too much, and this is where the Spectre Ult's going to come in huge. They're going on the Doom, but the Doom popped it correctly onto the Spectre. Do they have enough damage to bring him down? The Doom will fall, but you've gotten your abilities off. They've also lost the Veno too. AMP had to back away from this one. The Spectre most definitely going to die. There's no chance that a deny either. A nice ult from the Shadow Fiend will fear away 2 heroes, and they'll actually get 2 trades off the back of it too. The Lina just standing in the puddle of poison, gonna fall to the Viper, and Pitlord just walked into a Clockwork there. Does hit the hook too, but I don't think he has enough damage. The battery assault almost on cooldown. No, he just barely has it. Trying to trade with the SF2. He misses the race. He could go back into this. He's got the Q in a couple of seconds, but it's not enough time. The SF is just too healthy at this point. AMP able to bring the clock down with right clicks. Didn't juke it in the fog long enough, and also the ward here. Nice positioning for the SF. We gets him to win out. The only survivor of that entire... I mean, everybody's dying except for the SF. Nice play there from AMP, sorry. And I mean, he wasn't really involved too much in the center of it there. Had to back away because of his health situation. But still able to come in at the end and pick up and clean up the rest of the heroes. And, well, we've got a close game, which is really all you could ask for. Still back and forth. We're 23 minutes. Clockwork trying to find a kill onto the SF. They don't have vision. He is able to hit the hook, but there's no follow-up. There's no help from the rest of his team. I don't think he's going to have enough damage. The SF popping the Blade Mail a bit too early, I think. And yeah, he just has to back the Clockwork. Getting chased down by that Spectre. Another dagger coming out too. I think that's the dagger cooldown talent. Slow. Clockwork able to hit the cogs. Another dagger coming out. Yeah, and I think that's the kill right there. That is definitely the dagger cooldown talent. That is so good. Veno just walking back, making some space for his team. Didn't quite have the ult. Thought he did. But yeah, this is a ridiculous talent, by the way. 7-second duration with a 6-second cooldown. Tell me that shit isn't sketch. Tell me that isn't sketch. Seems pretty good to me. Seems very strong. Popping daggers all fight long. I mean, he just needs a bit of mana regen, and he doesn't even have to hit people, really. Just throw out daggers and stay in range for the Radiance burn. We do have a 1k gold lead. Going to Radiant now. Jasper maybe looking for a kill onto the Spectre, but that Spectre ult is back up, so they gotta be careful of taking a fight. Potentially very dangerous if they do. There's a lot of damage coming out from the Spectre, and he's only got, I mean, it's really just the Radiance. The rest of his inventory is a Wraith Band and a couple of neutral items. Do have the net worth bars going a little bit more even. The Spectre not quite as high as you would like to see for a Radiant Spectre at this point in the game. 25 minutes in, do get a couple bounty runes, and I think Radiant's going to get all 4 as well. SF will overtake the Viper yet again, and it's really just the battle between these two. Center stage in this game. In terms of the net worth. 2k gold lead for Radiant. We'll see if they turn it into another tower fight here. They are potentially looking at bottom. The Doom is up, but Oh, we might just get a similar fight to last time where they got completely wiped. Did get 4 kills, but again, very expensive. Hook is up on Clockwork. We'll be able to find the ward. Dr. Purple Tuna, a nice 200 gold. Feels pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the urn pickup this late, especially after the Blade Mill. It's something you definitely have to get before Blade Mill if you are going to go it. And at this point, like, look, he's already missed out on, I would say, about 18 urn charges. Did get a couple kills in the early game, but he's essentially, since he's not had an urn, he went for the Blade Mill first. Not able to capitalize on the rest of it. The pickup's still good this game, but could potentially go for a 4-staff in between it too. I usually just dip out on the urn because it feels like you have to get urn Blade Mill so quick. And you can surprise people with Blade Mill pretty late into the game if you don't get it first. So Pit Lord getting caught out. Is it going to be able to get the pit off? Does juke the Clockwork just for a bit. The fear, you can walk through cogs when you're feared apparently. Did not know that. I wonder if you can walk through cliffs. Probably? I would think so. I'm surprised you don't just get stuck. They could pop the fort for this too. We'll see if they try and find the SF. The Clockwork, not quite in time though. Let's see if he can hit a Bulba Hook. Can he hit the Bulba Hook? Go for it, go for it, go for it. Oh, why did he throw it that way? Purple Tuna, no. Why did you throw it that way? There's one path where he could go. Oh. I was rooting for him because we get some Bulba Hooks there. Could have thrown a bit more into the trees too to make that TP a bit harder to find, but... Oh yeah, this is the other thing about Clockwork Hooks too. You really gotta memorize jungle paths because he hits that hook if he just realizes, well, there is no path to go over here. So just throw it straight down, like basically this angle. You throw it through these trees, it'll cover this entire path and like this little path over here. So even if he tries to juke it a little bit, you're still gonna hit it. Blind hooks are really easy. Especially if people are in trees. Because there's only so, like, look at a blind hook into like these trees is even easier. You just angle it right and there's only so many places they can go. You can't juke in the trees when you're playing against Clockwork. It's a fact. Bulba knows it too. Whitewolf picking up a couple of items. He feels pretty good right now. He's got a couple of life-saving glimmer capes. He's been able to use it for that use yet, but I mean, you're still fine. We're at 28 minutes. The Spectre, again, not very farmed, and it's the same thing with ESF. There's still no BKB on this man. Is going for the Hurricane Pike first. Does have a 4-staff. And it kind of feels like they need to be ending the game very soon. But there's no Blink Daggers. I'm surprised Doom hasn't gone for one either. Could allow them to be a bit more aggressive and just blink into the high ground and get a Doom onto... I mean, at this point, you probably still just pop it on the Spectre because that's a lot of their damage. The hook just barely missing. They would have had a 4-staff save there. However, and it's another one where you just have to put the cogs in front of somebody. If you do hit the hook, the BKB from Razor, not going high ground. I mean, if you pop it, you gotta go. There's no turning back there. You just gotta go. They definitely have the advantage too with the Aegis over on your core. They do get the Veno ult onto a couple. Shadow Fiend in the back, but it honestly, it didn't look like it connected on too much in terms of damage. They get the Doom off onto a couple. It's onto the SF. They kill off the SF plus the Spectre, and that's even after the ult too. You've only lost the Clockwork, and again, if you're a Clockwork, you don't even care if you die. That Pit Lord falling as well, and that's a complete stomp for a fight. None of the abilities really connecting for Dire. Thought they had the opportunity there with the SF coming from the back. But again, what Clockwork is really good at is splitting up these fights, and they're just able to focus one hero after the other. They get the Doom on the SF, who's completely alone. The Veno is isolated in cogs. The Lina is the only one that doesn't die because she's standing over here. The Spectre got on the other side of cogs too. Already used the dagger in the wrong direction, so can't run on the other side of it. Narathi not going to tick down. 28 health. It's just, it's hard to take fights if you're Dire. And I mean, you have a Doom, Viper, Razor. Razor, again, it's hit a couple buttons and you're just fine. They can't even kill Casper either. BS Chili falling there, still has the Aegis. So they really can't go on this too far. Razor wailing into those bottom racks, still hitting on the tower. Will be able to take down the tier 3. Viper's got this BKB too if they want to keep going. Does pop it, trying to bring down the Spectre. It does get a couple hits off. It's 5 stacks. He gets the Maelstrom procs. Spectre is fallen yet again, has a buyback, will pop it too. But the Razor, nobody's even watching this man. He's just completely soloing the racks bottom, and finally the Lina rotates down to get the kill, but a nice play from Dr. Purple Tuna gets the kill over onto the Veno. Perfectly executed from Radiant. They're just death by a million cuts right now. I mean, Kyle is like not even playing the same game the last 5 minutes. He was just hitting bottom. Didn't matter what was happening mid, and it feels like that is definitely the right play. Nobody stopped him. They lose the tier 3 mid. Almost lost the range racks too. Kyle took the range racks bottom to get a little bit of damage in the melee, but that's going to heal by the time they get back to pushing it. And, well, 12k gold lead. And it's been a back and forth game, but now it kind of feels like Radiant are seeing their window. They're still in the middle of that window. I still think there's a chance Dire can get back into this. You got a Spectre. I mean, the SF isn't too great late into this one. Needs to get a BKB first before they can fight again, I think. That will be the item that turns it. But there's still no Manta on Jace. He's got quite a bit of farming to do for it as well. And they're starting to feel a little bit suffocated. Radiant, fortunately, not taking over control of the entire map yet. Feels like something they definitely could do. Especially with the Clockwork, too. You can really suffocate some heroes out. Keep an eye on the Spectre with the rockets. But yeah, the biggest issue they have right now is Spectre and Shadow Fiend are splitting a very small portion of farm. And neither one really benefiting too much from it. And if you're SF, you're like, I need this. I need my BKB. And he's right. He needs his BKB. Like, there's no way they win this fight unless he gets BKB. And even then, you still have the Doom to worry about, too. We'll be able to take that bottom outpost. So, I mean, in the meantime, that is something. If this game goes for another 7 minutes, at least I'll get some XP. But Radiant's still just waiting around. I think they really should just be playing aggressive right now. Going for these fights. They will catch a Gale on the Doom. The Pit as well. Throws out the Q, but 40 HP regen. He's got a pipe as well. So he just don't care. The clock is bottom. Let's see if he can actually hit the hook. They don't have vision on him, but the Viper does get an attack off. Where's the hook? Where's the hook? It's not there. He had it off cooldown, but he just couldn't find the angle. Maybe the creep's in the way. I think they had vision on him too. Was that a Shadow Blade maybe? I thought they had vision on him, but just quite missing it. There's actually Razor kind of soloing out too, but he's got BKB, so it's kind of a hard kill to get. He's just gonna pop BKB and turn this if they try and go. He can just pop BKB and turn this. He could really just turn this, but he's actually running away. The rest of his team is here. Hook as well, but on the Spectre, he missed it. Would have been able to get out with the dagger too, so not really much of a follow-up even, but Razor's popped his BKB at this point, and they're still trying to fight. They do get the ult from the Veno onto the Razor, and they will kill off the Veno SF just taking as much advantage of the space as possible. Taking some outposts, but now is when you need to push. You still have the Doom, still have a couple of ults up too, and we actually just lost a Clockwork? Oh, was that the ult? Like, entirely the ult. And they're still going back? It feels like they really need to be fighting right now. You have 2 catapults mid. This is a really easy fight, but the Lich TP'd back. Will have the rest of their team taking the rest of the racks. Could go bottom here too. As soon as that 2 catapults, then we'll get the Fortify. Pipe pops, that is Spectre ult as well, but they're able to just walk out for now. It's a tanky Doom, especially with all the HP regeneration. The nice BKB from the Viper, perfectly timed to dodge that stun. They even bring down the Shadow Fiend. He's got a buyback too. It's 3v5 right now, and they're taking the fight. Kyle doing so much damage to the Spectre. There's no buyback. No buyback for Lina. 3v5, they win the game. What? And there's nothing that a Shadow Fiend can do. Again, he's got no BKB. The tier 4s are gonna fall and they just have to watch it go down. Their base is in flames and there's nothing they can do except popping the ult to get the fear. It's gonna slow them down for now. But Kyle perfectly happy just sapping some damage. Couple of hits from AMP and there's the GG. Ben finally calling it. And, well, it was a close one up until about 30 minutes. And then just some really good execution from Radiant. Really nicely played. It looks like they're... Okay, no. There we go. Ancient does fall.
I mean, they're not really quite taking advantage of their heroes, I think, but...
It's some fun fights in the mid game that ended up going Radiant's way. But seriously, they won a fight with just the Doom, Razor, Viper. Like 3 of the most tankiest heroes, I guess. Razor's not too great, but I mean, Doom, Viper, very hard to kill. They're just 3v5ing and it's not mattering. Like, they don't even need their Lich there. Hell of a game. I mean, back and forth almost the entire way. Kind of some patience from Wolf's team once they actually took an advantage there. Actually see if we get the second lobby up. I'm probably going to chill out until we get that. That was game 1. Going Wolf's way. He's improved to 1-2. 0-3 is Ben's team. See if we get game 2 relatively soon.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
All right. Let's get into it. Game 2. Decent game 1. Hopefully we get a pretty similar competitive game 2.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
We do see some of the same bans too. We still get that puck ban. The rookie is same as well. Wolf did lose the last game. We'll see how much they want to switch up.
10 seconds remaining.
The Viper Doom. Oh no.
5 seconds remaining.
They're just getting rid of it completely. They're like, we're not playing against this cancer again. I'm surprised they banned out both too, because it feels like you can maybe let the Viper through. Sure, he's gonna win the lane, but just pick a better mid hero into it. And again, the problem with the SF is he needs a BKB. He's really easy to lock down, especially with the team that they had. Maybe it feels like you could have gone Ember or Storm to mix it up a bit and Disruptor. So the first 3 bans from Wolf are the exact same. Sorry, excuse me. Not wishing to switch anything up. I think that's a strategy you go for, and they'll actually ban the last 2. That was their first ban of game 1. But Wolf, I mean, they don't want to switch things up. They want to play this Lich again, too. There's only so many weeks in this group stage. I believe we only have a couple more matches left. It should be round robin, I think. With 5 teams, it's a little hard to do round robin, as you still don't get that many matches.
10 seconds remaining.
And you might have to play a team twice. But at least then everybody plays everybody. What is that, round robin? Every team plays 4 matches, so 20 matches total. 4 weeks, I think. Maybe 5. And we're actually in week 2. Again, the LAN tournament for this amateur tournament is February 29th. Peoria, Illinois. I believe there's more information on it. Just Google MD2L. And you'll find something. I forget what the actual name of the arena is, but it's a convention center in Peoria, Illinois. Pre-drafted teams, MMR cap of 19,000. And we see kind of the differences in skill gap too, and you can really see it in some of the positions, especially the first week that I casted to both games being completely blowouts. I don't think there's a cash reward for winning the tournament. It's mostly just bragging rights, and it's cool to say you won a LAN too. But it is just the group stages for it. We get the Underlord pick as well. So this time Wolf is going to switch it up. Ben drafted the Underlord out from under his nose in game 1, and Ben this game deciding to go for the Warlock Centaur. Actually, it looks like AMP is drafting for them too. Did do the same in game 1. The Centaur is a decent pickup. Again, very simple to play. I think it is a little bit weird into the Underlord because you do have that pit to deal with, but the Warlock very strong still. If you catch the other team out, can definitely do some fights going your way in the blink of an eye. See if they just pick up a little bit more damage to go along with it. We'll get the Life Stealer ban too. You know, other than the Veno Doom, we do see a lot of the same bans coming out. Let's see, what does Wolf still need here? What would I ban here? Pale still in the pool. That can be pretty annoying to play against if you don't have the Underlord. You could potentially just get rid of a drow right now. Your only way to get on top of a drow is a centaur, and that's kind of pushing it. Because you really have to pop alt to do it. An Underlord can help out a drow, just keeping people locked in, making sure that the multi-shot can hit everybody. I think you get rid of the drow here. The Lone Druid, that might be a targeted ban, but it would allow them a decent amount of pushing power, and you could play very Rat Dota-y with the Pit Lord as well, and that bear is going to be very strong with the Lich ice armor on top of it. So a decent ban, but I still think you need to get rid of a drow. For sure. And we did see it get banned last game too, but it was in the last phase. If it doesn't get banned here, I think somebody picks it up. The hero's just way too good right now. Looks like we won't see a Clockwork again either, unfortunately. They didn't ban it out, so they didn't think it was like overly impressive, I guess, but I mean, I would pick it up again. It was still good. Thing is, their off lane, I mean, is it Lich? Is it Lich Underlord? Is their off lane? I think so. I mean, Lich Underlord feels pretty strong. You're able to be very aggressive. But, I mean, yeah, it works. It works. You could run it. I mean, the Lich was fine last game, too. It wasn't Kyle. Oh, gosh, was it Jasper?
10 seconds remaining.
Or no, it was Whitewolf. Whitewolf was playing the Witch last game. Yep, that was it. They're actually choosing to pick Radiant again, too. Bloodseeker picked out, banned out. We also got the Ursa ban as well, choosing not to run into that. Ursa's been the other core that I've seen a bit. Bloodseeker in pubs, oh my, everybody was picking that like a week ago. But I think as more people watch the major, Bloodseeker not really being that big of a hero, picked by the pros, and I mean, it's okay. It's not great. You don't really want to play Centaur into a Bloodseeker either. So, I mean, that's why the ban's there. You just have to use it. See what they want to go for with the pick. It's probably going to be the 4 hero, unless they really want to run a Warlock with a Centaur, which you don't do. So it's going to be their 4. I mean, they could go... Oh, yep, I was about to say that. Are we going to get to see 2 different players play Clockwork in this game? Is Clockwork back in the meta? Is Clockwork meta full swing? I thought I'd never see it again. I kind of hate it. I'm the only one that gets to play Clockwork, right? I'll play this hero. I'll play this hero whenever. It doesn't matter what patch it is. It's always good. It's just the idea of Clockwork. You literally lay a wall on the battlefield. It's better than Tush Shards. Well, sorta. Well, kinda. It's better in some aspects. Similar. And they picked the Slark too to go along with it. Definitely a better draft to play with a Clockwork. They're going to run Clockwork Centaur, which works decently well. You have a stun lead up into cogs, and usually if you're stunning somebody with Centaur, you're going to be next to the hero and be inside the cogs when they're popped, so that works out really well. The Slark, able to hop in. You also have the heal from Warlock, so if you can survive through to level 6 with Slark, it feels a lot better. Warlock can help with that. Still got a Wraith King Underlord too. And Slark is totally happy playing into a Wraith King, I think. I mean, just steal all the stats. He dies. You can steal all the stats again and feel pretty good about it. If only you got the permanent stat steal for Wraith King dying once, but you do not. So I think Slark's pretty good into a Wraith King, though. As Wraith King draws out fights, and that makes Slark really happy. The only issue is it feels like you have to pop the BKB during one of the lives and then pop your ult during the next one. But if you use your Q really efficiently, definitely can outplay a Wraith King. dodge most of the stun damage too. And down here, they're both actually going over a minute into their reserve times for some of these earlier picks. The 4th pick from Wolf still needs to be a support. Will be paired with that Wraith King. And nope, it's actually going to be Lich Wraith King. And they'll run Tiny Underlord, which is good. There's a lot of damage in that lane. Definitely a kill lane. And Slark is very squishy early on. So a pit into a tiny stun toss. I mean, Slark does dodge some of the stun, or that dodges the pit, but the tiny stun, very good. I mean, you're still getting the guaranteed damage. I'm not exactly sure how the interaction works. I think you still get stunned if you're Slark and you're popping your Q while in the middle of a tiny stun. You just get, it's essentially just like, oh gosh, how does that work? Because it's a bunch of mini stuns. I think Tiny's good into it. Anyways, it's still it's good lockdown. The Wind Ranger ban too. Just get rid of these heroes that are hard to kill, that buy 4 staff. They still don't have any 4 staff buyers other than the Lich, and the Lich doesn't get it till very later on. Still haven't gotten the Drow ban. We'll see if Wolf just wants to pick it, actually. Could go Drow mid, potentially, or just put Wraith King mid or something like that. Maybe go an Underlord mid, pull the old Badger special. Put Underlord mid. Really easy hero to just, you know, pop your Q every now and then at that mid lane. Drow doesn't feel like the pick though. Anymore anyways. It doesn't feel like you really run Drow mid. And both teams have kind of showed who the carry is. And that's beneficial towards Wolf. They will ban out the Invoker. Does get left in the pool. Still have a PL as well if they want to go for it. The OD pick. Here we go. Seeing some different stuff. And yeah, they immediately knew what they wanted to go for. The Huskar. They have a lot of lockdown for a Huskar to just wail into people. And again, it's another hero that as these fights go on, longer fights are really good for Desolators. And by that I mean the team, not the item. Like, AMP's draft is like, you know, if the fights go on for a decent amount of time, we're going to end up really benefiting from it because we got the stacking damage from the Huskar. We got Slark getting some stats. Clockwork's able to split the fight so that our carries can focus. We can get some jumps with our Centaur and our Warlock. Hopefully with the Centaur ult, the Warlock can get a decent ult off. You got some combo breaker with the OD on Radiant. But, I mean, that's about it, right? Like, the rest of these heroes you can really wail into if you get some farm on a Slark. You just gotta make sure you're not dying early on. And make sure the OD doesn't get too much farm. Feels like Desolator's draft here is a bit better. AMP kind of had an idea with it. OD is gonna take a lot of the weight here. Like, he pretty much has to carry his team, I think, because Wraith King really doesn't show up until later on into the game, like a later timing than Spectre even. We saw how well the Spectre worked last game. Get BS Chili. It is the Warlock Slark top, so he's got some healing for him there. And then bottom, it's Clockwork with that Centaur. And again, they can play really aggressive. Sets up decent for the Cogs with 2 different stuns down there. Can you purge the flames with OD? I would assume so, but you probably want to use it aggressively. Enemy Warlock does have Iron Branch. That is a fact. That is indeed the case. Enemy Wraith King has Iron Branch. 3 mangoes. Jasper. I was going to rotate bottom for this. This is something that a lot of these mid heroes have been doing early on in this series. You know, they want to rotate for these runes, kind of prioritizing them instead of blocking. does give you the nice advantage of an early gold lead. I mean, in the jury's out on whether or not it's like the best thing to do. Narathine, fine, just trading hits here with the Wraith King, able to pop the Q. 4 seconds until they spawn. I don't think the Wraith King can actually go for it. And it's the same thing. I'm surprised Centaur went for the stun, actually. Did use it. Still got 20 seconds on cooldown. Will take a bit of harass from the Wraith King. Not gonna die for sure, but it's a lot of harass. And top, BS Chili is walking completely under tower. Not even gonna bring down the Tiny either, but does pop the salve himself, able to walk away. I think you heard him pop the salve too. But I mean, it's a decent trade. You use your salve, he uses his salve, and you got a Warlock heal. Does have to use some on himself. I think he had to use it twice there. One to do damage, one on himself. So it's kind of running low on mana. You really want to save that for your core, but the more you can zone out this Tiny earlier on, the better off you're going to be. You want them to play very passive in a lane against Slark. Very burstable hero. Mid Jasper is just wailing on this Huskar. It's not even close. Could potentially just die here too. If he wants to pop the W, I think it's going to be one more hit plus the W, or it might just be one more hit. After all, it's able to walk out with the Fairy Fire and getting the salve from the courier there too. Actually, a second salve did bring one to lane with him. So AMP, or no, that might have been 2 salve purchases because I don't think he bought one initially. AMP feeling pretty good. Did take a lot of harassment early on, be able to ferry out, and that's just the meta. Mid, they did lose a courier. Top, Purple Tuna playing the clock last game, playing the aggressive Tiny this game. Able to bring down a courier with a Tiny. Oh my gosh, and I'm missing first blood. Well, I mean, if it was one of the heroes, that was the hero we expected it to be on, I guess. Wraith King just going a bit too far. Level 2 on Narathing, I think that was just the level 1 battery assault that got him the kill, though. So it wasn't really anything special to pick that one. BS Chili just doing a bit of trading. I mean, knowing he can trade really easy here. It's actually going to pop the sentry in the wrong spot, too. Does use 2 of them, and they just barely miss these wards. Unfortunate there. Nothing popping the cogs to survive. Kyle not getting hit by it, so he's not going to get that mana debuff. We'll actually get 2 pulls here too. Narathing just blocking the creep camp. In the meantime, pops the Q, but too many creeps here to trade with, and the stun from Wraith King, it's going to allow them to get the hits in necessary to pick up that kill. Narathing falling on the clockwork. Now Centaur has to try and run away, falling low as well. He doesn't have a salve either. The stun from Kyle, or do they really want to keep going? The Q from Whitewolf is more than enough. I don't think they can keep going underneath the tower, however. This is a level 2 clockwork battery assault. Potentially Narathine just rumsing down. The skeleton is trading the hits right now, however. The cog's not going to hit the skeleton. It was enough. What a bro, just saving the bigger skeleton there. I think if he gets more battery assault procs onto the Wraith King, he just dies, and Whitewolf does not want to walk up this hill. Knows that he's up there, and he might just get a courier kill too. Narathine looking for it, and again, Lich, it's the wrong hill. You just can't walk up these blind corners here. Clockwork potentially just going to find a second kill. Whitewolf going for the hit onto the cogs. It's not towards his tower, however. And Narathine able to pick that one up. Not going to find the courier, so it doesn't feel too bad if you're Narathine's top. They also killed off the Tiny, too. The slow coming out. They don't have enough damage to kill off a Pit Lord. This man's insane. 2 more hits on BS Chili to get the kill too. Now 1 more with the Q pops. I think he might be going for the deny. Does get it. Not gonna get the creep or the neutral creep death onto the Pit Lord either. And decent kills there. Nice rotations from Narathian. He hasn't gone mid yet, which I think is, again, the big thing. The stun from Kyle to initiate this one. Do they want to keep diving? It's 7 seconds till it's going to be off cooldown. Narathian maybe looking for it. He wants the Lich. White Wolf, maybe he's able to get out of this one, actually. The creeps are really close, and there's not quite enough damage. The Centaur had to back off. The stun from the Wraith King, but no, the Battery Assault canceling out the right clicks, and now Centaur's gone a bit too far. There's no follow-up. They have another stun, but there's just not enough mana. Needs 30 more. 2 more hits, not going after the bounty, but he turns towards it, and that allows Kyle to get the right click off. Greedy play there from the Centaur. If he had initially just gone for the bounty rune, I think he would have gotten it and lived. Just not quite paying off. Kyle not going to find the clockwork either. Had the stun. Had the mana for it too. Just not walking the right way. Pit Lord top, just pushing out creeps. Still, I mean, a lot of harass into a Slark, but that's what you got the Warlock here for. They did, unfortunately, trade a couple of heroes off. You'll take it if you're Slark, because you're getting stacks on the passive. But the toss up into the stun, and BS Chili is just annihilated. There is no way he is surviving that. Completely isolated. And just a mispositioning right there. And Narathian, unfortunately, just placing a ward underneath his sentry, so that's going to be gone immediately. Kyle popping the stun a bit early. Might have been able to live had he popped it after the cogs had gone away, but there's nowhere for a Lich to go. In the meantime, the stun toss from Tiny, if he wants to go for it, it's a nice rotation down. Does not have the toss there, however. He just has to back off, knowing they don't want to get caught out by this clockwork yet again. And now you got a Tiny down here, and Tiny's still killable. But it's the toss from Tiny. Does he have it? The pushback is making enough space. They need to get the W off. They do. Centaur able to pick up that kill. And as well, the Battery Assault procs from Narathian. More than enough to kill off the Wraith King. And bottom is just a massacre. Fortunately, your Warlock has rotated away, opting to just stack some creep camps for the Slark. But Jace tanking a lot of these Qs from the Pit Lord. And he's starting to get a little bit unhealthy. But, I mean, again, once he gets 6, he can just pop it in the jungle. Tank like a full Q, probably. A full Firestorm. Walking in the jungle and be full health again. So it doesn't feel too bad. We'll get a rotation top. Narathian up here for this one, deciding bottom has had enough. He wants to go top. They want to get some more kills. 180 mana is all you need to get the cogs combo. They get the leash as well. The pushback at the same time. Wasn't actually able to lock him in the cogs since they already used the leap. And yeah, easy kill for Narathian. No stack for the Slark, however, which is really would have been ideal for them. Purple Tuna looking for the toss there, not able to get it. We'll take the kills. And it's more space for your Slark with that Pit Lord gone. Problem is your bottom lane is, I mean, you're giving Wraith King a lot of space now. Have killed him twice before he hit that 6, so it's decent. You're still slowing him down by quite a bit. I mean, we can swap over to net worth and just see Slark, I mean, isolated on top. Again, has died in one time himself, but still able to get soaking up enough space from this lane. We haven't really looked at mid too much, but that's because, I mean, neither of these heroes are mid. Get some more rotations top. BS Chili trying to run through 2 heroes. He gets rooted again with the toss. That's a decent combo as well. The leap over from Jace. One more right click from the Pit Lord. More than enough. They keep getting rooted too. And there's no leap again. Narathian's going to get the kill, so not a stack for Jace, but he has another leash here in 8 seconds if they want to keep diving. Got the ult as well, but I don't think he wants to go for it. Could potentially turn this. I think he could turn this. That's a really low Pit Lord, and he can just pop ult and explode him. Level 4 Dark Pact, and they might just lose a Tiny too. Could go for the toss if he wants to get it. The leap, not quite off cooldown yet, but a couple of hits from the Slark, and he's gonna get the stack this time. Does. It's 3 for Jace. I mean, that's exactly what you want right there. Bottom, they do pop the ult from the Centaur, able to get away from the Wraith King. And even if he gets the kill there, the ult is up. Level 6 Wraith King, maybe rotating bottom from AMP. You gotta kill this Wraith King twice, however. And is that really something they can do? Walking underneath the ward. Again, these rotations just completely spotted out. Whitewolf going for the outpost take, but Centaur prepared for it. A nice rotation from AMP, directly timed at 10 minutes, and this is a really easy kill. Really, does he even need to use the ult here? He will just get on top of him, and yeah. Easy kill for your Huskar. You do lose the outpost top, but, I mean, they're not touching Jace anymore. I mean, still, the Pit Lord looks kind of squishy. I think Jace needs to get some mangoes or a clarity or something to get his mana back. But he's still doing just fine. Look at this regen on this man. He's able to actually, they killed off the Wraith King once, just finding him in the jungle. Used the hook for it as well. 190 seconds till that is off cooldown. Still popping the slow is BS Chili, and walking back into it as Kyle finally cancels it. The ult from the Lich enough to slow, and a couple more clicks onto the clockwork from that Wraith King is enough to get the kill. The rotation over from the OD on the backside. Dr. Purple Tuna with the stun. Secure that kill for his mid Jasper. And, I mean, we haven't really talked about the OD, but he hasn't really been doing too much. The toss in onto the Huskar, and I think the ult is going to be enough if he wants to go for it. Is it really going to be? W popped. He's got the stun to follow up, but where is his OD? Is not too close to this. The heal is going to be popped as well. Again, assuming he doesn't have enough damage here, and the miss high ground will not continue to go for that. What, he has 80 something mana, 90 mana, or 90 int, sorry, compared to 41. Oops. Oh, the hook over onto the Tiny. Found him high ground. Didn't think they would keep going for it because they have this shrine right there. And they're not going to find this kill. They just pop the shrine, and they can turn this. They're in the wrong neighborhood. The rotation over from Jasper, and he's just stacking the int right now. Does pop the W, and I think that's going to guarantee the kill even after it. Yep. Nice tip there from Dr. Purple, or the Purple Tuna. Able to get him the kill. 14 stacks. I have to read that ult again still. They're trying to go into the Slark, but this really isn't realistic. I think he can just pop the ult and run out. Even pop the TP if he wants it too. Still just running directly in line with the OD. And I'm not sure that's the way he wanted to go, because the rest of his team back around near the tower. Having to catch the Uber out. Do they have enough damage? The stun. No, it's more than enough damage. They don't even get the OD. The rotation over from Whitewolf. He dies to the creeps, and Whitewolf is feeling really good. Are you kidding me? That was a heck of a fight from Radiant. They might get a return kill bottom, actually get the payoff for that kill, but no, he misses the cogs again. Narathi not having too much luck with that this game, but I still think there's going to be more than enough damage. The stun, the heal, is it enough? No, it's not quite. They miss it by just a bit, and that cogs again. You gotta take your time when you hit these. Both games, both Clockworks we've seen play at missing cogs and missing out on kills. I think it's really just you have to save your phase boots until you get up and close and personal with them. And most of the time we're just not seeing that. See Narathi rotating back around again, but this Wraith King ult up in 20 seconds. And he's just lifestealed his way back to almost full health. And they've really missed some opportunities to kill this Wraith King. And now Jasper is starting to look very big. 4-0-2. Able to rotate over onto the Clockwork. And Narathi, even with the cogs, he is able to live. Did get the pushback there. I thought we might see the Astral onto the Clockwork to follow that one up. Timings are about the same. Broom handle on Pit Lord. We get the slow from Whitewolf over onto Narathi. But again, not popping the Astral. They're playing very patient. They don't want to be too aggressive to start this one. And I mean, potentially it's a fight you can win too, because they don't have the Slark here yet. Slark's still Jace happy farming top and wants to get a defusal before he really joins anything. And that's the right idea. Centaur just running down the tiny bottom. Doesn't really have too much damage, however. It might have been able to get this kill had he popped the retaliate. Still could go for it. He has the ult. Doesn't get the slow. He needs to get the slow. He didn't get it the whole time, and now he's put himself in a really hard position. The nice cogs there didn't catch anybody in, but it's really just locked your Centaur into a pit. The Q, the Firestorm, plus a couple of right clicks gets the Pit Lord kill, and this is a Wraith King ult too, so even if they kill him once, he's just going to come right back. The rotation down. I believe that's one of the supports, not OD. And yeah, that's actually the tiny rotating down from that death. The Firestorm, enough to kill off the Clockwork. Yes, it is. The Pit Lord getting some more stats, getting some more damage. The Huskar now getting stunned out. We'll get the toss over onto him, but he could get the return kill onto the Wraith King. It's the ult, the triple kill for Pit Lord. They get nothing in return. The fear over onto the Warlock. They use so much and get so little. Dire just getting dominated. The only bright side is Jace is free farming top this whole time. Rotation up from Jasper, but yeah, I mean, there's really no chance he gets a kill there. Just stacking up a little bit of int. He's just one more level before he has level 2 Nerathian. Potentially rotating top. Is there a cooldown talent for this? He actually skipped level 10 talent. No, there isn't a cooldown talent. Okay. I thought there was. Maybe, no, that's the eggs. That's the eggs. Yep, and he's getting it. Because you get 2 charges of it, and it just feels like the cooldown is nothing then. It's crazy. Get the nice Pipe of Insight timing there. And I mean, this game, it's a lot different from game 1. We're a 6k gold lead, and we're only 16 minutes in. And it's just all these fights are going Radiant's way. And we had a lot of back and forth in game 1 and game 2. It's all Radiant. It's all one team. Did mix up the draft from Dire. I mean, they went for the Clockwork this time. Really couldn't do the same Cancer Hero draft that they had last game. And it's definitely not working out for them. Clockwork doesn't want to hook into an OD right now. He just does have a decent position. And, I mean, as a Clockwork too, you really miss the timing to kill OD as well. Feels like that ship... I mean, it hasn't sailed quite yet. It's just, it's a hard kill to get. Because you want to try and find it when he's in the mid lane. Because you can wait till he pops his W. Just errantly. And this is a dead Wraith King, I think. Especially if they hit the hook. Potentially just looking for it. No, they're fighting some skellies. I think they could still hook into this, though, even with the OD here. Still a takeable fight. I also have the Centaur ult, too, but yeah. With the rotation over from Tiny, I think it's too much. They are just going to sacrifice top tower. Clock getting a little bit caught out. Does have the Astral again, but yeah, he doesn't want to pop it. No stun there from the Tiny either. They potentially could have just killed him, as he was... I mean, he was really close right around here. See if they go for a smoke of some sort. Yeah, they do. And this kind of feels like a smoke because we have it. I don't know if it's that great. I don't know if you want the Slark in it either. He still needs a BKB too. If they find the Wraith King, I mean, that's the pick that you need. They do see the other heroes rotating over, but a TP away from the Wraith King. They don't catch him. There's the hook. He hit it. Nerathian. It was just 0.1 seconds until that TP was done. Are you kidding me? What a hook from Nerathian. Found the angle for it as well. I mean, the rocket was there at the perfect time, too. And game-saving play at this point. You're still down 6k, but you're going to find another kill from it, too, as Lich rotated bottom. Does pop the ult. It's going to do a bit of damage, especially onto this Huskar, too. But I don't think he dies, especially with that many creeps around here. All bouncing to the creeps, didn't quite get lucky enough. Jasper is pushing out top, has that arcane rune, not going to be able to use it in a fight or anything, but it will make the top push a lot easier. I thought there was splash damage with arcane orb, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was like a really old patch. We did see a sentry over here, and I'm surprised they didn't deward this, but I guess they maybe just missed it. They might have just missed it. I mean, wait, which one was placed first? Okay, yep, okay. So they actually see this. They just need to walk over. I'm just dumb. Do get the Aether Lens on OD. Is getting closer and closer to that eggs. Definitely the first item you have to go for sure. And yeah, we do split the XP too. Huskar there just in time to get that outpost. Or he might have just taken it anyways. I didn't actually see there. Top Centaur has to pop the ult to get away, and I mean, maybe if he astrals to get the kill there, but in the rotation over from Clockwork, this is a haste rune too. Not gonna find anyone, however. We'll maybe see the Lich. Jasper just sitting top, is about 1,000 gold away from that eggs. Does pop the astral, but there's no real follow-up, just doing some damage. Surprised Centaur hasn't gone for a pipe yet either. Did go for the first item, Vanguard, and this item's a little weird too. I mean, that should probably go on Clockwork, maybe. Probably a Warlock would be even better. I mean, a Centaur, you really want to be mobile the entire time. Kyle, not gonna throw out the stun, and they need to back, I think. Because Slark actually running at your Tiny. The Lash gonna hit. They will kill off the ward, but you're paying for it with your life. Even if they get it to toss away, Tiny's very tanky. Does pop the Warlock Golem. It's on the 3. The hook into the back. It's the back lines. He's pushing him back up into the hill. They're all being slowed by this. Jasper is about to drop the fucking hammer on the 3. It's a double kill for Jasper. Tiny's getting a double kill too. It's 4 kills, and they're gonna get a team wipe. Felt like the perfect setup right next to the Dire Shrine, and I was just waiting for that OD hammer to come down. They had 0 lockdown on him. Nobody knew where the OD was, and they all paid the price. There was no stopping it. And especially that initiation too, trying to go on a Tiny. It felt like they might have been able to get it, but there wasn't any follow-up. Purple Tuna able to just turn around, pop a cup, stun, toss, and the Slark just can't do anything. And we might be able to see the Clockwork cook here. As the Tiny could get a toss too, but it's actually a really nice cog. Smart play from Narathine there. A very veteran Clockwork play, actually. They get another fight here too, and I think the Pit Lord's gonna fall. It does not matter. The Uber, it's not coming. Purple Tuna getting chased down too, and you get some kills on the side. Very nice play from Narathine. Narathine knows how to play Clockwork. That's legit right there. Because Narathine knows if he cogses the Tiny, it's just a toss out, and it's a really hard kill to follow up. But he gets the double push, 1 towards your team, 1 away. You hit the cogs, run at the person you pushed away, and they get both kills. Astral over onto the Clockwork. Jasper does have that eggs now, but he doesn't quite have the ult up, and I don't think they really can run at this. Astral once again onto that Clockwork, and with those 2 kills, it's the time to take Roche, and they're doing quite a bit of damage to it. There's no stealing this either. Clockwork playing very aggressive. Narathine wants to fight this, going for the D ward as Whitewolf gets it. The damage on the front lines too. They haven't propped the shrine yet. Jasper just getting the stacks up. Still 30 seconds till that ult is off cooldown. The jump in from Huskar, but Slark trying to get some damage out. This is where that Astral, the double charge comes in handy. They isolate the Huskar, and Jace trying to focus down the OD. This is a big kill. If they can get it, they do. It's the first kill onto the OD. The buyback from the OD as well. He has that ult coming up. They're trying to focus down the Tiny. They get him. It's Amped and Jace trying to run away. Amped able to pop the W, but the Astral from Jasper, they killed off the Centaur. In the meantime, the Astral onto himself. I think Kyle got a kill onto the Centaur over here in the river, and I just missed that on the very back end. A lot going on in that fight. Very split up. But I mean, that's a buyback after a death from Jasper. Does have the ult too. I think they just... Wait, what? I thought I just heard... Oh no. Yes, okay. So yeah, buyback from OD. We'll see if they can take a fight. They have the Warlock ult up, but the Huskar isn't. And you're still fighting into... Oh, the leap in. The hook misses, and he still has another charge on Astral, too. There's no way to get on top of the OD, but if you can isolate him from the rest of your team, it's still going to work. The ult pop from Warlock, but they don't have enough damage. No, they do. It cancels the Uber. They kill off... Oh, my gosh. They kill off the Centaur again, as well as the Wraith King. Clockwork going to die due to the Astral, the stun coming out from Purple Tuna. And they're going for the jugular. They want the racks. Jasper still has the ult. It's 12 stacks. 21 seconds remaining on that. The Centaur running in, trying to get a nice stun, but the nice retaliation stun from the Tiny. It's saving your ult. He pops the hammer onto 2. It blows up the Clockwork plus the Huskar on the backside after it. Kyle getting the stun over onto the Centaur, and I believe that's a dieback. 75 seconds without your Centaur, and you just have to get back now. You've lost the Wraith King, you've lost the OD, and there's no buyback. And you're happy with it too. You've taken a tier 3, you've taken the range racks, and it really doesn't feel like Dire can go for a racks push themselves, because they hardly have any towers.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Whew. What a game so far. I thought we might get a blowout here, and I mean, it's still a 10k gold lead for Radiant, as it was a 6k earlier, but I mean, Dire's keeping it close. They're not kneeling over. Definitely not kneelers. Pitlord able to push out bottom. Just get some split pushing done, make some space. Purple Tuna did find the bounty rune top too. I didn't see how even that is. I haven't checked on neutral items in a bit either. I did get the Paladin sword onto the Tiny, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. 17% lifesteal and a high base damage. I mean, it's okay. What is that? 17% of this damage is like, what? 34, I think? Something like that. Jace able to get away. I mean, the stun would probably not hit anyways. He still has the ult too. This leap. This looks so ridiculous. I'm surprised. Is this actually the build on Slark? Do you rush eggs now? Very interesting. We'll see Jace walking towards mid. I don't think they can really find a kill on him. They do have Jasper rotating over mid. Centaur just fighting a war too, and I mean, it's Radiant winning the vision battle because they have all the map control. Honestly, if you're Dire, you have to look at that last fight win as, let's go get some outposts, let's get some vision out on the map. And they just didn't accomplish that, and it's a big missed opportunity. Whitewolf popping some nice high ground wards, so they will see the smoke when it inevitably gets popped. They're trying to initiate the fight over onto the Warlock. He is able to pop the cloak to walk away, and now the backside, they've rotated over. It's 3-man Golem. They're getting destroyed by the Warlock. You've already isolated the rest of the team. There's no OD. They don't have the saves, and he can't even rotate over this fight anymore. They just need to run away. There's no Pit Lord, there's no OD, there's no saves. They can't take the fight. Where was the rest of their team? A really nice smoke play from Dire to get all the way behind. And, I mean, Warlock was just playing the ultimate bait game there. The master baiter, Warlock. We'll let that one sit. Does get them to go past the tier 2, though. That's really what wins them the fight, too. And they even find the D ward, which is nice. Clockwork going for the take, and Jasper doesn't want anything to do with it. Has the spider legs, but... So, fun fact, spider legs does not work against Cogs. He's going to try it, too. I guarantee he's going to try it, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I've tried. It doesn't work. You think it does, but it doesn't. We'll see if it actually happens, because he's going to do it if he ever gets cogsed. But yeah, you just run into the sides. I've tried using them, like, if you get spider legs as clockwork, you would think it'd be really good, because you could just pop cogs and then run out of them, not having to use a force staff. But it would be a pretty heavy nerf to the hero, too, if spider legs allowed you to walk out of the cogs. Because if somebody gets spider legs, suddenly they have a 2,200 gold item. We'll see the clockwork rotating over. He's pinging them out. A nice rocket will spot out the Wraith King, but who do you want to hook first? This is... no, he's actually got Radiance. When did he pick this one up? That's a double Astral already. And Kyle is kind of caught out here. The hook over onto the OD, but completely isolated as Narathian has to run out. This is not the fight that they want to take. BKB popped by Amp, trying to find some kills on the backside, able to get rid of the Lich, so that's a start. You're isolating the OD as well, but into the fight he comes. You've lost the Centaur, even after the ult take, or the ult pop. And Purple Tuna now trying to run down the Warlock. Let's see if he has some jukes left in him. BS Chili juking him so far, and I just totally missed them killing Amped. I thought Amped would be able to get away from that, but I was wrong. I was very wrong. And actually, the rotation over from Jace, he's saving his supports, trying to find the kill onto the Tiny. He's got a stun too. The Golem popped even to try and find this kill. One more hit. No, BS Chili is able to pick that one up. 12 stacks for your Slark. Jasper is rotating over, might be able to find the kill onto the Warlock, but he's got Invis. And completely juking Jasper right now. The hook over on the OD. And he just needs to walk away from this one. Does have the ult if he wants to pop it. Does pop the spider legs to walk over the cliff. The Golem here as well. Can they actually get this? The root. The Slark completely hops past him. The ult pop from OD, but it's not enough damage. Narathian survives. Even the Slark too. And OD tried to turn it. Jasper just not quite having enough damage, and that's his second death, or third death, sorry, because he had that dieback earlier. 11-3. It's a 7k gold lead. We're back into it. Dire not taking towers really off the back of it. I think they took that tier 1 a bit earlier. But they're getting these really crucial kills on the big heroes. It's 3 times they've killed the OD, and I didn't think we'd see it once. This Blink now on Tiny did trade away that Paladin sword. Actually, I'm curious who they gave that to. Oh, it's on the OD. Really? I guess it's the same thing. Doesn't make sense that OD can use it because he's a ranged hero, but he throws Orbs of Light too. We'll see Lich picking up the Invis rune, and I don't think they can actually find a kill on him either. Narathian doesn't have the hook, doesn't know he's there either. They don't have any kind of sentry, but Whitewolf popping a couple wards, and he is in a very bad position suddenly. We'll see the clockwork rotating over. Whitewolf has to just go for the TP. Yeah, the hook. That's kind of a hard blind hook to hit. If you're running away from a clockwork, that's all you got to do. Just pop it in the middle of the lane. They're actually trying to kill Kyle off mid, but I don't think they quite have enough damage. The save there from the Astral. Jasper could just pop another one too. Diz going to use the second one. The stun up plus the root. It's onto the Centaur, and this is a very dead Centaur. Yeah, that Midas off cooldown. And wow. Middle of that. I mean, they're making space so that he doesn't use his Midas. What the heck is happening over here? Narathian hooking over into the OD. I think they're trying to initiate something, but was that a block? I'm not quite sure. What's Narathian? It didn't feel like that was the timing for it, but they will. It's melee racks mid gone for sure. Oh, that's what that sound is. This sound sounds like a tower dying. That's what I thought it was earlier. It's like a really deep sound. Clockwork buyback. He's going straight into the pit though. Not quite sure that's what he wants. A nice pushback onto Kyle, so he is going to lose some mana too, but obviously the mana not too big of a deal with that talent. OD getting focused in the back, pops the BKB, the stun still coming through with the hook. The spider legs popped on Slark, and he can just back up. He can just juke this BKB, walk out. Kyle is going to die for the first time, is going to come back, so they've lost the Centaur, and it's a 1v5 in the middle of this fight. The stun over onto the Huskar again. Amped getting focused by that Wraith King, disarmed onto the Wraith King, but the OD running over Jasper. Jasper has more than enough damage, plus the hammer. And when he wants to drop it, Slark Jace could jump in, misses the leap. It doesn't lash on anybody, and he just gets exploded. There's no buyback. He leapt to his death. Jasper just waiting for that Slark to show up, saving the hammer. And this is a buyback from the clock too, so he is down for 70 seconds. No buyback, and that's game. This Pit Lord does 500 damage, 600 actually. And he can just end the game. This boy is beefy, he's in for a lot. And, well, an abrupt ending, 18k gold lead to finish off this one. It ends in a 1-1, the first 1-1 of the group stages. Both these teams were 0-2 to start. It felt pretty evenly matched, both games, pretty close. But well played to both teams, a fun watch. We got some good fights there too. We got clockwork in both games, which is very exciting. I'll call that a win. If you did tune in, thanks for watching. We have more games tomorrow, I think. I'll see if I'm going to cast them. I don't know yet. I think they're at 8 Central Time tomorrow for some more group stage action. We have 2 series a week since there is 5 teams. Again, LAN tournament. So February 29th, Peoria, Illinois. Look it up. MD2L. I'm out. Have a good night.